You are doing very good. So in the last lesson we did the door, and now let's create the lights from here. We're gonna have some beautiful lights, very soft. First, let's rename this door. In the last lesson we did the door. I also renamed it. You can also rename it and move it to the blockout collection. Now let's create the lights. So for the light, I'll move my cursor here. Shift S, cursor to selected. I don't like this. So I would just want to select this top one. Shift S, cursor to selected. This is perfect. Now go out of edit mode. Click on this modeling. And we're gonna use a new tool over here. I press Shift S, curve, and add a Bezier curve. And it's very small, but it is here. Press Tab, A to select both of them, R, X, and say 90. No, minus 90. Now let's move it here to the left, to the beginning. So I say R, Y, and move it like this straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. Take this one and move it to the other side. G, Y, G, X, and move it to this other side. Now select both of them, right click and say subdivide, and we're gonna add 17. So now we have 17 extra dots. So here I have the first one, but I'll not select it. I select the second one, skip one, select the next one, skip, select, and so on. Skip, select, skip, select, skip, select, skip, select, skip, select, and one more. And move it down, G, Z. Like this. And here we're gonna have some lights. Let's move it a little more forward so it doesn't go inside this wood. G, Y, move it a little bit. Not that much. Perfect. Now, with this curve selected, you have here a new option. Object Data Properties. And move down to Geometry. And under Bevel, on Depth, you can add more. Let's say 0.01 or a little more. Let me see. Yes, I feel this looks good. Now let's create a light. Press Shift A, Mesh, Cylinder. Move it a little out so we have space to work with. Let's resize it on the Z-axis. I'll make it big first and then we're gonna resize it, all of it. Actually a little more. Big, like this. I'll press Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A, I will add a sphere. G, Z. And I'll leave it like this inside a little. Press Tab, 1, and we have to select this vertex that is here in the middle, not that one. this one that is here in the middle of the sphere. And select proportional editing. Press Z and move it a little down. Like this. This looks good. Shade smooth. Also on this one. And also add auto smooth. And on this one also. Now let's add materials. I'll say here light support. And here I'll say light bulb. Join them together. Ctrl J. And now I will need to select, I go to edit mode, face select, and I select this top face. Here I will say Shift S, cursor to selected, go in object mode, right click and say origin to geometry, to 3D cursor, sorry. Origin to 3D cursor. Because we need it here at the top. You're gonna see in a moment why. This takes a little bit of time, but we can do this. Let's resize this down. Let's say 0.2. And let's leave it there for the moment. With this selected, I will select this point. Okay, so you can see here in the left, I'll select this point. I'll press Shift S, cursor to selected. Oh, so I realize now that what we did earlier didn't matter, but it's okay. So select this light, say here, set origin to 3D cursor, and right click, geometry to origin, and move it down a little bit. Like this, yes. Now I want to say here, origin to 3D cursor, again, and move it a little more, because I don't want it like perfectly straight. Let's move it on the x-axis. Before that, let's actually duplicate it and rotate it a little on the x-axis. Let's make another one. So I'll keep this one as my reference, duplicate it, and the reference I'll hide it. Now go in edit mode of this curve, select this one, Shift S, cursor to selected, go in object mode, select the light that you want, origin to 3D cursor, geometry to origin, move it down. And here you can say again geometry to 3D cursor and move it a little bit. We don't want these lines to be perfect, to be perfectly straight, because that's not natural. So now let's take our reference, press Shift D, hide our reference. With this curve selected, go edit mode, select this one, Shift S, cursor to selected, edit mode. Here we right click, origin to 3D cursor, right click, origin, geometry to origin, move it down. And we keep going like this for each of these points that they are more down. Shift S, cursor to selected. Let's duplicate this one, Shift D, right click, origin to 3D cursor, and again geometry to origin. I will continue and move this video faster so it doesn't take too long. I'll repeat the same process for each of them until the last one. Let's go. And that's it. I made all of them. Now I can delete this reference one. And they all have materials attached to them. You can see here. Good. Now with this curve selected, I'll go to Object, Convert Mesh. Now it is a mesh. You can see it has normal geometry. I'll say Shade Smooth. Perfect. And add a new material to it and say Light Wire. Perfect. Now let's select all of them. Press Ctrl J to join them. And they all have their own materials here. This is perfect. Now what I want to do is duplicate this one, move it down, say RZ 180 to not be exactly the same, to be a bit different, and move it out, GY. Actually on this one I think I want to rotate it on the X-axis. Yes, this is perfect. So this is how it looks. And this is it. This concludes the section about modeling. In the next section, we're gonna start texturing all these elements. And after that, we're gonna add a little more to have more interesting stuff in the empty spaces. But after the texturing, so we can see a little what we need, where we need more details. So thank you for watching and see you in the next lesson. Bye.